You know, sometimes the internet doesn't just speculate, it detects. And when it does, the drama that unravels is nothing short of explosive. Right now, the entire online world is buzzing about something so scandalous, so messy, that even Beyonce herself couldn't have written these lyrics. We're talking about whispers that are quickly turning into shouts. Did Rowland secretly have Jay-Z's baby? Let's dive right in because this story is juicier than any reality show. So here's the setup. Rowland, Beyonce's ride or die, her childhood best friend, her Destiny's Child sister, had her son Titan back in 2014. She was married to her manager, Tim Weatherspoon. On paper, it all seemed clean, simple, and happy. But the internet never lets things stay that way. Fans started comparing little Titan's features, and oh boy, the theories took off. People began saying, hold on, wait a second, Titan doesn't look like Tim. At all. Not even a tiny bit. Instead, they swear Titan looks like Jay-Z. The jawline, the nose, the expressions, it wasn't just one or two comments. The internet practically exploded with side-by-side pictures. And the shocking part, some folks even claim Titan resembled Jay-Z more than Beyonce's own kids. That's the kind of comment that makes timelines spiral into madness. But wait, it doesn't end with just the looks. Oh no, because 2014 was also the year when Solange went full Mortal Kombat on Jay-Z in that infamous elevator fight. Remember? Beyonce stood there, stone-faced, while Solange unleashed fury like we've never seen before. Back then, people chalked it up to rumors of Jay-Z cheating. Maybe with Rita Ora, maybe with someone else. But now, with this new theory swirling, people are connecting dots. Could Solange have snapped because she found out Jay-Z crossed a line not just with any woman, but with Kelly, Beyonce's sister and all but blood? Let that sink in for a moment. Of all the women Jay could have been linked with, Kelly would have been the lowest blow. That's not just cheating, that's betrayal of nuclear proportions. And Beyonce, queen of silence. She never said a word about that elevator scene. Instead, she let her music do the talking. 2 years later, Lemonade dropped, and we all remember how raw, how scathing, how brutally honest those lyrics were. Fans went back to those words and thought, wait, was she really just talking about Becky with the good hair? Or was the betrayal even closer to home? Now here's where it gets even wilder. Recently, a video allegedly surfaced. Yep, a supposed leaked clip of Jay-Z and Kelly in a compromising moment. And no, not those blurry paparazzi shots. This was described as clear, crisp, high-definition footage that left little to the imagination. The internet did what it does best, zoomed in, slowed it down, frame by frame, analyzing every shadow and gesture. If that footage is real, it's game over for the Carters' carefully managed image. And let's not forget, this isn't Jay-Z's first time being tangled in paternity drama. There's Rymir Satterthwaite, the young man who's been claiming for years that Jay-Z is his biological father. His mother, Wanda, said she and Jay had a fling when she was just 16. A pregnancy followed, and when she tried to reach out, Jay-Z vanished. Wanda spent years trying to push for a DNA test, but Jay's legal team allegedly blocked it at every turn. She passed away in 2019 without closure, but Rymir never gave up. He kept pushing, begging Jay-Z to take just one test. If Jay isn't the father, why not just do it? The silence, the evasions, it only made the whispers louder. Now, add Titan into this mix. If the rumors about Kelly are true, this isn't just one hidden child. This is a pattern, a web of secrecy stretching across decades. And suddenly, Kelly's own music looks suspicious in hindsight. Remember her 2013 track Dirty Laundry? Back then, people thought it was about industry struggles, jealousy, toxic relationships. But now, fans are convinced it was Kelly's hidden confession all along. She sang about secrets, betrayal, and feeling trapped in someone else's shadow. And maybe, just maybe, she was hinting at something much darker. Think about it. Destiny's Child was never the picture of harmony. Matthew Knowles, Beyonce's father and the group's manager, had a reputation for favoritism. Kelly was often pushed to the sidelines, styled down, overshadowed, her shine dimmed so Beyonce could glow brighter. Add to that whispers of Matthew being harsher on Kelly, allegedly because of her darker skin tone, and you see a woman who spent years in someone else's shadow. Now, imagine Jay-Z, this powerful man, dripping with influence, stepping in and showing Kelly the validation she'd been denied. Was it about love? Or was it about power, revenge, rebellion against years of feeling small? Maybe it wasn't calculated at all. Maybe it was messy emotions that spiraled out of control. And then there's Solange. That elevator footage makes so much more sense now. She wasn't just angry, she was furious. That kind of rage doesn't come from some random model being in the picture. That's the kind of fury that comes from betrayal at the deepest level. Family. Imagine finding out your sister's best friend, practically your own sister, is pregnant with your brother-in-law's child. That's enough to shatter anyone's composure. Beyonce's silence during that fight was chilling. She didn't defend Jay, she didn't stop Solange. She just stood there, taking it all in as if she already knew the truth but couldn't say it out loud. And later, she put it all into Lemonade. Lyrics about betrayal, humiliation, and trying to piece yourself back together after someone you love tears your world apart. And remember that infamous line, "He better call Becky with the good hair"? Fans obsessed over who Becky was. But what if Becky wasn't some mysterious outsider? What if Becky was Kelly? Think about it. If true, this wasn't just tabloid gossip. This was the collapse of a lifelong bond. By this point, the internet wasn't just whispering, it was screaming. Photos of Titan next to Jay-Z went viral. The resemblance? Uncanny. And then came whispers about sealed legal documents, allegedly court paperwork ordering Jay-Z to take a paternity test connected to Kelly. If that ever comes to light, the entire Carter empire could come crashing down. And this is where things go from messy to catastrophic. Because if those sealed documents are real, if there was truly a court order demanding Jay-Z take a paternity test linked to Kelly Rowland, then the narrative Beyonce and Jay have spent years curating could crumble overnight. Let's face it, Jay-Z isn't new to scandal. He's been dogged by whispers and accusations for years. From Liv, the woman who once claimed Jay tried to hit on her only for Solange to swoop in and shut it down, to Foxy Brown, who's long been rumored to have had an on and off connection with him. Some even say Foxy still gets financial support from Jay to this very day. And who could forget Liv's fiery song, Sorry Mrs. Carter? That wasn't just a track, it was practically an open letter to Beyonce about Jay-Z's alleged double life. But here's the difference. When it comes to Kelly, it isn't just gossip. It's betrayal woven into Beyonce's very foundation. This is someone who grew up in the Knowles household, someone who shared the stage, the spotlight, the grind, the tears. If Jay truly crossed that line, he didn't just cheat, he detonated the one bond Beyonce had always cherished, her chosen sisterhood. And let's not forget how fans are reinterpreting Destiny's Child history. Looking back, the harmonious trio wasn't so harmonious. There were rumors of jealousy, of Kelly being styled down, of her solos being cut short, of Matthew Knowles allegedly favoring Beyonce so heavily that Kelly never stood a chance. Imagine simmering with that resentment for years, and then suddenly the most powerful man in music, your best friend's husband, turns his attention to you. Was it validation? Was it a rebellion against years of being overshadowed? Or was it pure chaos, a temptation that should never have been entertained? Either way, if Titan is truly Jay-Z's son, then it isn't just a family scandal. It's history being rewritten in real time. Destiny's Child wouldn't just be remembered as the iconic girl group that gave us Survivor and Say My Name. They'd also be remembered as the stage where one of the most shocking betrayals in pop culture unfolded silently behind the scenes. Now let's circle back to Solange. That elevator fight has always been one of pop culture's biggest mysteries. Why was she so enraged? Why did Beyonce stay so eerily calm? The more you look at it with this theory in mind, the more it makes sense. Solange wasn't just lashing out at Jay for cheating. She was unleashing rage over the ultimate betrayal, family. She couldn't scream it in public. She couldn't drag Kelly's name through the mud, but in that elevator where the cameras had no audio, she let her fists do the talking. And Beyonce, her silence spoke volumes. She didn't step in to defend her husband. She didn't protect her sister. She simply stood still, absorbing the moment, because maybe she already knew. Maybe she'd already made her choice to handle the humiliation privately, to channel it into lemonade, to keep the empire intact even if her heart was in pieces. But the whispers didn't stop. If anything, they grew louder. Fans began combing through old interviews, analyzing Beyonce and Kelly's body language, noting the awkward distance in more recent years. The once inseparable sisters suddenly looked restrained, stiff, polished, almost as if they were keeping something under wraps. And Titan? Poor Titan. He didn't ask for any of this. But every time a new picture of him surfaces online, the comparisons start all over again. The jawline, the eyes, the uncanny resemblance to Jay-Z. It's all too much for fans to ignore. The internet doesn't forget, and it certainly doesn't let go. Then came the rumors of Beyonce breaking down privately. According to industry whispers, she struggled behind closed doors with the possibility that her husband didn't just betray her with strangers, but with her closest friend. Imagine the weight of that realization. Imagine building an empire with someone, raising children with them, only to have your world shattered not by an outsider, but by the people you trusted most. And if the speculation about court documents and paternity tests ever goes public, it won't just be a scandal, it'll be an earthquake. The Carter dynasty, built on power, respect, and the illusion of perfection, could collapse under the weight of secrets too big to hide. Let's not forget Rymir Satterthwaite in all of this. His story remains a dark cloud over Jay-Z's empire. His mother Wanda begged for acknowledgement, begged for the truth, and was met with silence. She passed without ever getting it, leaving her son to fight alone, and Jay-Z's refusal to take a simple test, it screams louder than any denial ever could. Fans have long said, if you've got nothing to hide, why not just prove it? That same logic now circles Titan and Kelly Rowland. If Jay really is innocent, why are there whispers of blocked tests, sealed documents, and endless legal maneuvers? It's a pattern. And it paints a picture of a man who built an empire not just on talent and business genius, but on secrets carefully buried beneath layers of lawyers and silence. And where does this leave Beyonce, the woman who's been hailed as untouchable, flawless, the queen of the music industry? It leaves her in the most human, heartbreaking position imaginable. Publicly, she must remain poised, perfect, unshaken. Privately, she may be holding back floods of tears, mourning the betrayal of both her husband and her best friend. Fans believe her art has already told the story. Lemonade was her scream for justice, her way of surviving humiliation. But even that album didn't prepare us for the possibility that Becky with the good hair wasn't some stranger at all. It might have been Kelly Rowland. If that's true, it's not just messy, it's devastating. It's the kind of betrayal that could make even the strongest woman break down. And now, here we are. The internet has pieced together photos, lyrics, leaked clips, sealed documents, and suspicious silences into one of the wildest, most scandalous theories in modern music history. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. But the fact that so many believe it speaks volumes about the cracks in Jay-Z's carefully curated image. One thing's for sure, if the truth ever comes out, it won't just shake the music industry, it will redefine it. Because this isn't just about cheating, this is about family, loyalty, betrayal, and the collapse of bonds we all thought were unbreakable. And Beyonce? She'll be left to pick up the pieces yet again. Only this time, the betrayal may have come from the person she least expected.